Hi guys, today it is time for my March wrap-up. Just a little disclaimer in the beginning, if I seem like tired or uninterested in this video, it's just because I've only arrived this morning from Vienna, so I had a 9-hour bus drive through the night and I actually got to sleep quite a lot, but I don't feel like super motivated in case I seem like I'm bored or going to fall asleep. That is why I didn't have the most amazing reading month anyway. I've read 3 novellas, 1 book and 1 play. It's all fine. I'm still really happy with what I've read, and I've read so much in January and February that I'm still super far ahead of my Goodreads challenge. So first this month I read a novella that belongs to the Grisha universe, and that is The Witch of Duva, and this is kind of a folk tale that takes place in the Grisha universe, and I really enjoyed this novella. It was hauntingly beautiful, and that is really all I can say about it. I just thought it was fun to read this kind of folk tale. It felt a bit like a fairy tale, but just was interesting to read about in this world, and I definitely want to read the other like folk tales from this universe as well. And I gave The Witch of Duva 4 out of 5 stars. Next I read the 2 novellas that I talked about in my TBR, and these are the last 2 novellas in the Shadowhunter Academy series, Born to Endless Night and Angels Twice Descending, and I gave both of these 5 out of 5 stars. I've been absolutely obsessed with these Shadowhunter Academy novellas. I really love them. They were both super beautiful, and the last one was really sad. I don't know what it is with Cassandra Clare. She really just wants to make us sad at every end of a series, and it was interesting because I guessed what would happen. I don't know why, but I just kind of thought at a certain point in the story it was obvious what was going to happen, but still I cried and I was really sad about it. And yeah, it still really hit me hard, and I didn't really think that these novellas would have such an impact on me. I thought they were a great extension to like the whole world in general, but I didn't think that it would make me have so many emotions. But they were all great. I really am glad that I read them before Lady Midnight as well. Born to Endless Night was actually one of my favorite novellas from all of them. It was just really cute. It had a storyline that I absolutely did not expect to happen. I thought it was beautiful. It was like so much about like family dynamics, and yeah, it was really great. And then I read Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare. This is the first book in a new Shadowhunter Chronicles trilogy, The Dark Artifices, and this deals with 2 characters that we already got to know in the Mortal Instruments, and this also takes place 5 years after City of Heavenly Fire. I don't really want to talk too much about this. I don't want to get into a rant. I did write many thoughts on this book on my Goodreads, so definitely check that out if you're interested on my thoughts. But I have to say I didn't really enjoy this as much as I enjoyed Cassandra Clare's other books. I would actually say at this point, yeah, I'm pretty sure that this is my least favorite books of hers so far, has the lowest ratings of them all. I only gave Lady Midnight 3 out of 5 stars, and there's just many things that added to that. And this is also what kind of made me have that little reading slump that I talked about. I just thought many parts in the story were boring, and I just felt myself really getting into a slump because I just didn't want to continue, because I didn't feel interested in the characters anymore. I felt detached from the world at many parts, even though I love the world. I just don't know, it just didn't really click with me. And then I just remembered that I never really enjoy Cassandra Clare's first books in series. I didn't love City of Bones as much. I didn't like Clockwork Angel, and also City of Fallen Angels, which is basically the first book in the second half of the Mortal Instruments, is one of my least favorite books by her. So honestly, looking back at it, it was not really a surprise, but I just didn't really think of it before picking it up. As you were maybe able to tell, I just had really high expectations. They were definitely too high, and I just felt really disappointed. I just felt there was too much build up, too much kind of world building, and it didn't really make sense to me, because I feel like if someone that hasn't read any of her other books would pick this up right now, it would still not be enough to explain the depth of this world. So I don't really think there's anybody out there who would really pick this book up first, maybe accidentally, but that always happens. And then when they research it, they would find out that it is not what you should read first. I don't think that it was well done. There were many parts about this that bored me. I didn't want to read about what happened in the Mortal Instruments, and just overall I felt like this book was just too long. I mean, this had like between 600 and 700 pages, and I just felt that was too much. I could have dealt with 200 pages less and probably would have loved it way more then. There were definitely a few parts that I loved. I loved some of the kind of action scenes and fighting scenes, and I liked the family dynamics overall. The last like 250 pages really got interesting for me, and I really wanted to rush through them. But yeah, overall I just wasn't really impressed. I do have to say that in the end I think 3 stars is still a really like nice rating. I think if this was written by someone else, I probably would have given it a lower rating, but I just can't do it when it's Cassandra Clare. I know that sounds weird, but that's just kind of how it is. I even said while reading this that if this was like an Alexandra Bracken book, I probably would have dropped it. Yeah, so that's kind of how I felt about the book. I did kind of start ranting about it and talked about it way too long, but now you really know my thoughts, and if you want to know more and kind of my, immediate thoughts, because I did write the review quite fast after I finished the book, definitely check out my thoughts on Goodreads. And then at the end of the month, I've read Der Menschenfeind by Molière. This is the play I said I read this month. This is a play by a French author. The English title is The Misanthrope. Is that even how you say it? Yeah, I think it is how you say it. It is a comedic play, and quite honestly, I didn't really get most of it. I just kind of really read this in between while being in Vienna, and I just didn't concentrate enough on it. I didn't even give it a rating. Overall, I find it sometimes weird to give plays rating, because most of the time if I read plays, I just read them to see if there is a monologue that I want to use, if there's an interesting role or anything I just want to use out of the play. So it feels more like work than enjoyment, and it's kind of weird for me to rate them, and especially this one, because I just didn't really understand it. So I might actually reread this in April, but I'm not sure if I want to use any kind of monologue or anything out of this, so I don't know yet. But yeah, that's another thing I've read this month, and I just wanted to talk about it. I mean, the things that I did understand were kind of fun, but overall I just couldn't really connect different things, and the characters had these weird names, and yeah, I don't know, just well. So this was everything that I've read in March. As I said, not the most amazing reading month or the most exciting reading month, but I'm still really glad. And I mean, the one whole book that I read this month was a book that had like 700 pages, so that's cool, I guess. I'm overall still really happy. I have no idea yet what I will read in April. It's gonna be an interesting month where I will just read whatever I feel like, and I think we all like these months best. But yeah, let me know what you have read in March. I would definitely love to know your opinion on Lady Midnight if you have read that yet, because so far I've heard many people say it is Cassandra Clare's best book, and I do not see that at all. I have heard different opinions as well, but for the most part I hear many people say that they absolutely loved it. Yeah, so I would be interested to hear your thoughts about it if you have read it. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I guess I'll see you soon. Bye!